So this is an afternoon, early evening of meditation. It's the final session of our Discovering Buddhism on karma. So it's good if we make a very strong motivation, because we're going to be together meditating. So in a few minutes we'll recite the prayer, the refuge and the bodhicitta prayer together. But it's good to think about the meaning. The meaning of taking refuge, relying on protection. So protection, particularly when we're thinking of karma, from the faults or negative actions that will lead to a suffering result. These kinds of actions harm not only ourselves, but others. But by relying on the three jewels, the Buddha, who became enlightened and then explained the process for us to follow in suit, to be the same, to also become enlightened, explaining the Dharma, and the assembly of realized beings that enable us to have inspiration and support while we're on the journey towards awakening. So we go for refuge to these three jewels, these three precious aspects of reliable teachings, a reliable teacher, and reliable students and trainees who've gone before us. So it's particular protection so we won't get lost or go down the wrong path. And because we ourselves are just one person, and there are many, many, many living beings, it's not sufficient to think of ourselves alone. So our goal in becoming enlightened needs to be to release all these beings from their suffering and their causes of suffering, from the harmful actions that might cause them to create negative karma. and so that they find a way to engage in wholesome actions that lead to their happiness and ultimately their enlightenment. So it's our big responsibility to do this without favouring some and not others. So it's a universal responsibility that we're taking on in order to become enlightened for the benefit of others. So there are 4 rules or laws of karma. And the first of these is that karma is certain. If we experience unhappiness, it's certain that somewhere along the line we have created the cause for this. It's come from our previous destructive behavior. So really think about this. If we experience unhappiness, it has come from our own destructive behavior in the past. It's because you can't have a result without a cause. If we experience the result, it comes from the cause. Wholesome actions lead to wholesome, positive results. Constructive actions come from helping others, being kind, being generous, following through the perfections. And also from restraining ourselves from doing harmful things. The second factor is that from a small action, very large results can follow. The results can increase over time. So we might do something that's just in a small way positive, but this sets off the propensity to do other beneficial actions. It increases our capacity to do so. Whereas negative actions also fester and expand. Both a positive or a negative action increases in its power over time, unless we do something like purifying or taking a very firm decision and change of behavior and attitude. We can see this accumulative effect in everyday situations. We might do something once, and then the next time we try to do that, it's easier, and it's easier to go a bit further, whether it's wholesome or unwholesome. So each time we perform an action and complete the action, rejoice in the action, then we've planted a very strong seed that will lead to a result. And if we haven't committed a certain action, it can't have a result. There's no result without the cause. And finally, whatever actions are performed are never wasted or lost. The results will come in due course, even if it's in a very long time. This is true of positive actions and negative actions. in relation to negative actions, we can purify the action. We can do the practices that help purify our mind, even of actions we can't remember committing. So in this way we don't have to experience the result, or we can reduce the result. We can also nurture the likelihood of experiencing positive results by continuing to practice in positive ways. But even if it's a very long time before the result happens, it's not lost.